children, I hope you have gone through my previous video, and today we will continue further. Today in the chapter chemical bonding, we are going to study about hybridization. Now hybridization, it is the process of mixing of atomic orbitals of nearly the same energy to form entirely new equivalent orbitals with same energy, identical shape and symmetrical orientation in space. Now hybridization is a totally hypothetical concept. Orbitals of one and the same atom participate in hybridization. They may be fully filled, half filled or vacant. The orbitals undergoing hybridization should have the same energy. This is, or nearly the same energy. This is a must. S orbital cannot hybridize directly with D orbital. S will hybridize with P only. But if P is there, then P can hybridize with D. Alright, so the energy difference should not be much. Hybrid orbitals which are formed, they have a definite shape and energy. Remember that it is the orbitals which undergo hybridization, not the electrons. Electron remains unchanged. Hybrid orbitals, they form only the sigma bond. They do not form pi bond. Number of hybrid orbital formed is always equal to the number of atomic orbitals which take part in hybridization. Hybrid orbitals are directed in space in definite direction to have minimum repulsion between electron pairs. Bond length decreases while bond energy increases with increase in S character of hybrid orbitals. So more the S orbitals involved, more will be the bond energy and lesser will be the bond length. Now let us study about the types of hybridization. The first type is sp hybridization. As the name itself is suggesting, it involves one s and one p orbital, which results in formation of two equivalent sp hybrid orbitals which are oriented linearly with bond angle of 180 degree. Linearly means in a straight line. See here. This is sp hybrid orbital and they are making an angle of 180 degree. Alright. Now examples of sp hybridization. Let us take the first example, that is beryllium fluoride, BeF2. Now beryllium in the ground state, beryllium has atomic number 4. So in the ground state, its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2 and p orbitals are vacant. But when a little bit energy is provided to it, it comes in its excited state and one electron from 2s orbital jumps to 2p. So now the electronic configuration becomes 1s2, 2s1, 2p1. Now this unpaired electrons are present in s and p, 2s and 2p. So 2s and 2p will combine together to form two hybrid orbitals. They will be called as, this is called as sp, 1s and 1p is combining, so it is called as sp hybridization. So two hybrid orbitals are formed having one electron, one unpaired electron each. So see, beryllium has undergone sp hybridization. From here till here is beryllium. Then this unpaired electron will pair with unpaired electron of fluorine, one on this side and the other on this side. Alright, so in this way BeF2 molecule is formed. Second example, let us take the example of ethine or acetylene. Formula is C2H2. Now if you look at carbon, carbon has atomic number 6. So its electronic configuration in ground state is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Alright. Now in excited state, the electron from 2s orbital jumps into 2p orbital. So the electronic configuration becomes 1s2, 2p, 2s1, 2p3. Okay. Now the hybrid orbitals of each carbon atom, they are used up in forming carbon-carbon and carbon-hydrogen sigma bond. See, Which are the hybrid orbitals? Which are the orbitals which have got unpaired electrons? 2s, and there are 3 p orbitals having unpaired electrons. So the type of hybridization will become, if all of them combine, it will become sp3, but it doesn't form sp3. One orbital of s and one of p combines together to form sp hybrid orbital. Okay, only one have combined, so you will get 2 hybrid orbitals, sp hybrid orbitals, one orbital having lone pair of electron and 2 p orbitals which are having unpaired electrons. So in case of ethine, what happens? The hybrid orbitals, this one and this one, they form, one of them forms carbon-carbon single bond and the other one forms carbon-hydrogen sigma bond. The unhybridized orbitals, the p orbital, which are unhybridized, they overlap sideways like this. Okay, so they overlap sideways to form 2 pi bonds. See here, carbon-carbon and hydrogen-hydrogen, they are bonding together to form sigma bond, and then sideways overlapping between the orbitals is taking place. So you get over here carbon-carbon triple bond, because this is carbon atom, hydrogen is here. This is carbon-hydrogen, this is carbon-hydrogen, this was carbon-carbon, and now when the sideways or overlapping is taking place to form pi bond, it will become a triple bond instead of single bond. So the center bond is sigma and the 2 towards the outer sides, they are pi bonds. So this is how formation of ethine or acetylene takes place with sp hybrid orbital. Second type of hybridization is sp2 hybridization. Now name is telling you, in this hybridization, one s orbital combines with 2 p orbitals. Okay, then in this case, how many hybrid orbitals will be formed? Because the orbitals taking part are 3, 1s and 2p. So overall 3 orbitals, so 3 hybrid orbitals will be formed, which will be in the same plane, and the angle between these 3 hybrid orbitals will be 120 degree. Okay, between any two, if you take the angle between this and this, 120, here also 120, and here also. It's simple, 360 divided by 3, that becomes 120. In the previous case, sp or hybridization, only 2 hybrid orbitals were being formed. So what was the bond angle? 360 divided by 2, that was 180. Here 3 hybrid orbitals are being formed, so 360 divided by 3, 120. Okay, so the arrangement gives a trigonal planar geometry to the molecules. Now let us see the examples. First example is BF3 molecule. Now boron has atomic number 5. So ground state electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. In excited state, boron becomes 1s2, 2s1, 2p2. One electron from 2s jumps to 2p. Alright, and now these 3, 1 of the 2s and 2 of 2p. These 3 orbitals combine together in sp2 hybridization to form 3 hybridized orbitals. Alright, and then these 3 hybridized orbitals, they combine, each of them forms a sigma bond with fluorine atom over here to form the molecule of BF3, and the angle here it is shown between any two fluorine is 120 degree. Alright, Now we'll take another example. This was BF3. Another example is of ethene. Now in ethene, what happens? You know, carbon in its ground state, I already told you, is like if you see a carbon ground state, electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. In excited state, it becomes 1s2, 2s1, 2p3. Now in this case, one of the s orbital and only two of the p orbital will combine together in sp2 hybridization. So what will happen? 3 sp3 hybrid orbitals will be formed. Now ethene or ethylene, in this two hybrid orbitals, one from each carbon atom, forms a sigma bond by head-on overlap, while the remaining overlap with hydrogen atom. See, the remaining they are overlapping with hydrogen atom, and one is forming sigma bond. Alright. The unhybridized p orbital, one orbital of p, this one will remain unhybridized. So what this will do? This will combine with the other unhybridized of this carbon. So they will form a pi bond over here. Unhybridize this and unhybridize this. See, these were the hybridized. Okay. So out of the hybridized, one has joined with carbon, other have joined with hydrogen. The unhybridized has joined with the other unhybridized of carbon to form a double bond. So you get C2H4, which is ethene or ethylene molecule. Next is sp3 hybridization. In sp3 hybridization, one s orbital and 3 p orbitals hybridize together to form 4 hybrid orbitals of equal energy. Okay, so these 4 hybrid orbitals, they are directed towards the 4 corners of a regular tetrahedron, and the angle between them in case of a regular tetrahedron is 109 degree 28 minutes. Okay, so this is the way they are directed. This is the tetrahedron shape. Now let us take a few examples. First example is methane molecule. Carbon in ground state 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. In excited state 1s2, 2s1, 2p3. Now in this, all the 3 p orbitals will combine with s orbital, 2s orbital, to form sp3 hybrid orbitals. So this is sp3 hybridization. 4 hybrid orbitals will be formed. Okay. Now in this 4, out of the 4 hybrid orbitals that are formed, each hybrid orbital will in turn combine with hydrogen because they have one unpaired electron each, and they will form methane molecule CH4, and the bond angle is 109 degree 28 minutes. So methane is an example of sp3 hybridization. Let us take another example of sp3 hybridization, that is ammonia molecule. Now ammonia contains a lone pair. Nitrogen contains a lone pair electron. Nitrogen electronic configuration is, it has an atomic number 7, 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Okay. So it undergoes sp3 hybridization, in which 1s and 3p or 2p orbitals will combine together. But the s orbital which has undergone hybridization, it contains paired electron, whereas p orbital contains unpaired electrons. So this s orbital will not take part in bond formation. So this is called as the lone pair, and the remaining will take part in bond formation. Okay, so 3 hybrid orbitals containing 1 electron each will overlap with 3 hydrogen, 1, 2, 3. Alright, while the fourth one, which contains the lone pair, which was this one, which contains the lone pair, will remain unused. So what actually happens in case of nitrogen is, normally for sp3 hybridization, the bond angle should be 109 degree 28 minutes. But in case of ammonia, the actual angle now becomes 106 degree 45 minutes because of the repulsion between lone pair and bond pair. And now the tetragonal shape changes to pyramidal shape. So ammonia molecule has pyramidal shape with bond angle of 106 degree 45 minutes, and this is due to the presence of this lone pair electron. Let us take another example of water molecule. Water is H2O. Now if you look at oxygen, in the atomic number of oxygen is 8. So in the ground state configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. Alright, now these 2s and 3 2p orbitals, they undergo hybridization. The type of hybridization is sp3 hybridization. Now in this there are 2 orbitals which are containing lone pair. Alright, so these 2 will not take part in bond formation. These orbitals which have single electron, they will hybridize, form sigma bond with hydrogen. So the water molecule will be formed like this. Out of 4 hybrid orbitals, 2 will not participate and 2 will form sigma bond with hydrogen. Okay, so the expected bond angle 109 degree 28 minutes becomes 104 degree 35 minutes. This is due to repulsion among the 2 lone pair. They also repel each other. Then lone pair and bond pair also repel each other, and bond pair also repel each other. So the bond angle is also decreased as the size of the central atom will increase. Alright. Now next type of hybridization is sp3 dehybridization. Now the name itself is telling you, in this 1s, 3p and 1d orbital will combine, resulting in formation of hybrid orbitals. How many hybrid orbitals? 5 hybrid orbitals will be formed. So the shape will be trigonal bipyramidal shape. Now let us take an example of phosphorus pentachloride, PCl5. Phosphorus in its atomic number is 15. In its ground state it is 3s, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, then 3s2. We'll take the outermost shells only, 3s2, 3p3, and 3d is vacant. In excited state, the electron from 3s will jump to 3d. So now you have 3s1, 3p3 and 3d1. So all these 5 orbitals which are containing 1 electron each, they will hybridize. So this is called as sp3d hybridization. Now this 5 sp3d hybrid orbitals overlap with 5 chlorine atoms, forming 5 sigma bonds. Now out of 5 sigma bonds, 3 bonds which are located at 120 degree are equatorial and the remaining 2 are axial. Now axial bond length is greater than the equatorial bond length. So the shape is trigonal bipyramidal. Next type of hybridization is sp3d2. Involves mixing of 1s, 3p and 2d orbitals, resulting in formation of 6 hybrid orbitals, and the shape becomes octahedral. Example is SF6. Now sulfur has atomic number 16. Electronic configuration in ground state 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Outermost shell is 3s2, 3p4 and 3d is vacant. But in excited state it becomes 3s1, 3p3 and 3d2. So all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 orbitals, they hybridize, forming 6 hybrid orbitals of equal energy, and it is called as sp3d2 hybridization. Alright, so 6 hybrid orbitals will be formed, and they are directed towards the corners of a regular tetrahedron. Each of these hybrid orbitals overlaps with 2p orbital of fluorine to form 6 sulfur fluorine sigma bonds. The sulfur fluorine sigma bonds SF6 molecule which is formed, it has octahedral structure. Next type of hybridization is sp3d2 hybridization. Hybridization. Now in sp3d3 or hybridization, 1s, 3p and 3d orbitals hybridize, forming 7 hybrid orbitals. Okay, so the symmetry becomes pentagonal bipyramidal. Let us take an example of IF7 molecule. Now said iodine has atomic number 53. In the ground state, the valence shell, it is the 5th one. It has electronic configuration 5s2, 5p5 and 5d is vacant. But in excited state, it becomes 5s1, 5p3 and 5d3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So each of these 7, they hybridize and they form sp3 through sp3d3 hybridization. 7 hybrid orbitals are formed having equal energy. Now each of the 7 hybrid orbitals that is formed, they overlap with p orbital of fluorine atom, forming a pentagonal bipyramidal arrangement of IF7 molecule. Alright, so this is how different types of hybridization take place. Again, let me tell you, this is a hypothetical concept. Now next, you have to study calculation of number of orbitals involved in hybridization. You can calculate how many orbitals are involved in hybridization by the formula which is given as x is equal to half within brackets v plus m minus c plus a. Now in this case, x is the number of orbitals involved in hybridization, v is the valence electron of central atom, m is the number of monovalent atoms linked with central atom, c is the charge on cation and a is the charge on anion. Now from the value of x, type of hybridization can be predicted. Now if value of x is 2, hybridization is sp. If it is 3, hybridization is sp3. If 4, sp4. Hybridization is sp2. If 4, sp3. 5, sp3d. 6, sp3d2 and 7, sp3d3. Now let us take a few examples and see how calculation is done. Now let us start with, suppose, a neutral molecule. We take CO2. Now in CO2, central atom is What is central atom? Carbon. Now carbon has valence in the valence electrons of central atom are 4. Alright. Now, just a second. Valence electrons are 4. M is the number of monovalent ions linked with central atom. Oxygen is not monovalent. So, number of monovalent ion is 0. C is the charge on cation. Carbon does not form a cation, so it is 0. And O is the charge on anion. That is also 0 because this is a neutral molecule. So, charge on cation and anion is 0. So, value of X will become half according to the formula, half into 4 plus 0 minus 0 plus 0, that is equal to 2. And if the value of X is 2, type of hybridization is sp hybridization. Second, let us take an example of water. Water is also neutral. Central atom in this case is oxygen. Valence electron is 6. Then number of monovalent atoms which are linked to central atom in water is, hydrogen is a monovalent ion. So how many hydrogen are linked? 2. So M will be equal to 2. Cationic charge 0 and anionic charge is also 0 because this is a neutral molecule. So X is equal to half 6 plus 2 minus 0 plus 0, that comes to 4. And if X is 4, then the type of hybridization is sp3 hybridization. Similarly, there can be other examples like in case of NH3 and in ammonia. Ammonia mein the central atom is nitrogen. So V will become 5. How many monovalent ions? Hydrogen, 3 hydrogen are attached. So the M, value of M becomes 3. C is 0, A is 0 because ammonia is neutral. So the value comes, X comes to 4. If value of X is 4, it is sp3 hybridization. Similarly, ClF3. Now Cl is the central atom here. How many valence electrons are there in chlorine? 7. How many fluorine molecules is it attached to? 3. So C is 0, A is 0. So X, value of X, if you place it in the formula, it will come to 5. Type of hybridization becomes sp3d. Similarly, COCl2. In this, central atom is carbon. So valence electrons is 4. It is attached to oxygen and chlorine, but monovalent is only chlorine, not oxygen. So how many monovalent atoms are linked to carbon? 2. C is 0, A is also 0. The value comes, X comes to 3. Type of hybridization becomes sp3. Now let us take some examples of cations. In case of cations, like suppose NO2 plus. Nitrogen is the central atom. Outermost valence electrons is 5. How many monovalent atoms are attached to it? Oxygen is not monovalent, so 0. What is cationic charge on it? Plus 1. Anionic charge is 0. So X is equal to half 5 plus 0 minus 1 plus 0. This comes to 2. So if X is 2, type of hybridization becomes sp. Similarly, NH4. V is 5 but 4 hydrogen, that means M becomes 4 and plus sign is there, so cationic charge is plus 1. If you place it in formula of X, you will get the value as 4. So if X is 4, the type of hybridization is sp3 hybridization. Similarly, if you look at anions, few examples. Suppose CO3 2 minus. Now here central atom is carbon, valence electron 4. Monovalent atom none because oxygen is not monovalent. Cationic charge 0 but anionic charge is minus 2. So you put over here 2. So x is equal to half into 4 plus 0 minus 0 plus 2. Value comes as 3. So this CO3 2 minus will have sp2 hybridization. Similarly, SO4 2 minus. Sulfur is the central atom. V is 6. M 0 because oxygen is not monovalent. C cationic charge is 0 but anionic charge is minus 2. So 2. Value of x comes as 4. Type of hybridization if x is 4 is sp3 hybridization. So this way you can calculate the number of orbitals involved in hybridization and you can predict what type of hybridization will be seen in that particular molecule. Is it clear? So just revise this and in the next turn we will proceed further.